What's that? You're leveling a duelist and you want to get to maps as quickly as possible? Then you've come to the right place. This is the best way I've found of leveling a duelist in the early game to get to your first Ascendancy as quickly as possible. This guide is pretty fast paced, so if you're a beginner I do recommend my 101 series, at least the links video first. It'll help you understand what I'm talking about. Okay, let's get right to it. In the Twilight Strand we're going to use Double Strike and Chance to Bleed. This makes pretty light work of Hillock because we can just hit him a couple of times, make him bleed and then make him chase us. Once he's down, pick up any loot and into town. Talk to Tarkley and let's pick up Splitting Steel as the quest reward. We're also going to pick up a two-handed axe. If he doesn't have one, then a two-handed sword will do at a push. And as with any character, let's keep an eye out for runner's boots. If you're not lucky enough to find these first time around, we'll keep checking each time we come back to town. The vendors do get new items each time we level. We're also going to keep an eye out for green, red links as a priority. Our first two link will be Splitting Steel, linked to Chance to Bleed. This skill fires out a load of projectiles from our weapon, which can split to hit a ton of enemies. Now we're going to head out of the town into the coast and we're going to run left to right to the exit. You don't need to kill anything in here, but you do want to grab the waypoint as you pass it. Once you get to the exit at the end, we're going to go into the mud flats. In here, we're going to loot the 3 rowers' nests. Do be very careful. Rowers are evil and will happily stun you till dead. Once you have the 3 shells from the nest, we're going to head to the right of the arena and find the exit to the submerged passage. Touch the shells on the wall and head straight in. In here, we're going to grab the waypoint and take it straight back to the coast. Head down now into the Tidal Islands and we're going to go around the left-hand side of the arena. If you reach a ramp, you want to head back and go to the right. Once you get to the bottom, you'll meet Hellrake. He has motion prediction to level 5, so we do need to move around him somewhat erratically to avoid him killing us. Once he's down, grab the medicine quest and the portal scroll. We're going to log out and then log back in and we should end up in town. We're going to grab Sniper's Mark and Dash from Tarkley for the quest reward, and we're going to look to buy any red, green item if we didn't get one already. Now head over to Nessa and grab the Quicksilver Flask, followed by Chance to Poison. Our first 3 link is going to be Shattering Steel, Chance to Bleed and Chance to Poison. Take the waypoint back to the submerged passage. In this area we're going to find the bridge stroke stairs type thing and we're going to drop our portal on it. We're then going to head onwards to the ledge and pass straight through into the climb. Head right and grab the waypoint. If there's a big open space below the waypoint, then go down, else up. Locate the cliff with the wheel skeletons on sticks and head past to the green skeleton and go straight past it. Don't stop running now until we reach the lower prison. Take the waypoint back to town, go through the portal to the submerged passage and head downwards to the flooded depths. In the unlikely event that the entrance to the depths is not down, then head up. Kill the Dweller and once she's down, grab her essence and log back to town. Talk to Tarkley for the skill points book. It should go without saying that as you're going around killing monsters, once they drop loot, if it's either magic or rare, you want to pick it up and take it back to town. Sell it as a mixture of identified and unidentified in order to get currency scraps. If you still have normal boots, then use the essence on them to try and get the movement roll. If you're lucky enough to have runner's boots already, then upgrade your weapon with it instead. Our passive tree should now look something like this. We're going to buy any red or red green items and then head over to Nessa where we'll pick up Added Fire. Our main damage link is now going to be Splitting Steel, Added Fire and Chance to Bleed. You can drop Chance to Poison. Up to now I haven't been using any body armour because of the penalty you get to movement speed. However, now that we got Art the Gladiator on the tree, this is no longer a problem. So we can now equip our chest piece. If you haven't managed to drop an upgraded axe in the form of a Jade Chopper yet, then we're going to try and get one of these from Tarkley. One thing to remember with attack skills is that damage scales off your weapon. Not upgrading your weapon frequently will be the biggest problem you're going to face while leveling. Now that you know this, we will check every vendor when we get back to town to see if they have an upgrade for us. It's also important to note that you can upgrade your current weapon using a vendor recipe. For this, we trade our weapon with a rare or magic rustic sash and a blacksmith's whetstone. In return, we get the same weapon back but with a sizable boost to physical damage. If we don't have a large mana flask yet, then try and get one from Nessa. Take the waypoint back to the lower prison and work your way through to the upper prison. In here, keep an eye out for the hidden room with a chest in it. You should see the chest on the minimap. The chest has a chance to drop Quicksilver Flasks which are really useful early on. Finally, head to the Warden's Chamber. Walk past Piety and follow the blood trails on the floor until you come face to face with Brutus. Lay as much damage on him as possible while avoiding his slams. Try and stand behind him throughout the fight if you can. Don't forget your dash skill will help you do this. Once he's down, log back to town. Take Leap Slam for the quest reward from Tarkley and buy Life Tap from Nessa for the quest reward. We're also going to buy faster attacks and vitality. If you can't afford any of these right now, then just come back and buy them when you can. Our movement 3 skill link is going to be Leap Slam linked to Life Tap and then faster attacks. We can now drop dash. It should be noted that Leap Slam is now using our life instead of mana. This means that we can use it far more frequently, however do check your life pool every so often, because it will drain the pool quite quickly until we get more regen. Our Vitality will help offset this nicely once we level it up a bit. Note that Vitality is an aura, and whilst active it will reserve some of your mana in exchange for life regen. Take the waypoint to Prisoner's Gate and find the side with the cliff on it. Jump down the cliff and follow the offshoot to find the next one and head out to the ship graveyard. Grab the waypoint, this is normally near the entrance. Then find the overturned boat and drop a portal at it. Now find the entrance to the Cavern of Wrath. This is normally diagonally opposite to the entrance to this area. Once inside, take the waypoint back to town and use the portal. In this case I found the exit to the cavern first, so now I have to walk and find the cave. Enter the cave under the boat and find the quest marker, touch it to release the All Flame, grab it and then head to the exit at the back of the room. Fairgraves will be right outside waiting for us. Finish him, once he's down log out, grab the skill book from Bestel for killing the pirate, and we're gonna pick any of the quest rewards from Nessa. I'm gonna grab Lacerate because I'm gonna turn this into a bleed build. Buy Sunder from Nessa and get a second faster attacks. If you can't afford the second faster attacks, use the one from your movement skill for now. We're now going to drop Splitting Steel, and our new 3-link will be Sunder, Added Fire and faster attacks. If you too are going to be leveling a bleed build, then don't throw away chance to bleed yet, just stick it in a spare red slot to level. We're about to kill the end of act boss, and she does a lot of cold damage. You might want to get some cold resistance rings. To do this, we can take an iron ring and sell it with a blue gem to a vendor. Grab the waypoint back to the Cavern of Wrath and head through the Cavern of Anger. In here we're going to look for the exit, but be extremely careful not to run into red squids. They explode on contact and have been the cause of my death more than I wish to admit. Once you find Mavel's lair, head inside. We're going to use Sunder for the first time on a boss. This skill hits the ground causing shockwaves outwards. When monsters get hit, mini shockwaves will release around them causing additional damage. The first time you down her, she will actually turn into a sea monster, and then you'll need to fight her again to finish her. Exit her lair into the southern forest, grab the waypoint and run up the wall to the right and exit to the Act 2 town. Exit the town to the right to the old fields, follow the road to the crossroads. Head right and grab the waypoint in the middle of the crossroads. Head up from here and eventually you'll find the Chamber of Sin. We want to head to the centre of the arena, and once we get there, follow the waypoint to the exit. In here, we're going to run around until we find the offshoot to Fidelitas, the boss. Dispatch him, get the Baleful Gem from the crafting bench and log out. Take Blood Rage as the quest reward from Groost, and then buy Herald of Ash from Yena. Exit stage left to the riverways. Follow the path, use Leap Slam to jump over the broken bridges. This area is a little bit dangerous, watch out for the trees. Grab the waypoint as you pass it, eventually entering the western forest. Follow the path downwards, grabbing the waypoint as you pass it and noting the side of the road that it's on. Cut down Captain Ateri at the bottom of the area and pick up the thematic emblem and place this into the thematic seal. Now head up the area on the opposite side of the room to the waypoint. Eventually you'll find the entrance to the Weaver's Chamber, a large dangerous spider. If you suffer from arachnophobia, I'm deeply sorry because you really can't close your eyes for this fight. Also, you might want to watch some tarantula videos because that helped me get over the phobia. I'm now able to catch spiders and put them outside instead of screaming like a little girl. Do remember to switch on your Herald of Ash and use Blood Rage whenever the buff goes down. Blood Rage causes us to take 4% of our life and Energy Shield does physical damage per second. As a buff, it grants us increased attack speed but also more Leech, and Leech should offset the cost. Once the Weaver falls to about half health, she'll go up into the ceiling and we'll just be left with her ads for a little while until she comes back down. What we want to try and do in this fight is stay behind her because she will poison you if you get in front of her. Once she's down, grab Maligaro's Spike, and now just log back to town. By now your tree should look something like this. We do want to get the Mastery to reduce mana reservation efficiency as this will let us get a third aura. We can now pop back quickly to Act 1 and talk to Bessel to get the skill book. Head back to the Act 2 town and get Melee Fizz from Silk and buy Herald of Purity from Yena. Our damage link will now switch to a red setup with Sunder, Melee Fizz and Added Fire. Take the waypoint to the crossroads, follow the path down and exit the area. Follow the road until you find the crypt. Once in here, get to the second area and kill the boss, Archbishop Joffrey. Click on the quest marker to drop the golden hand, take this back to Yena for a skill point. And it's back to the crossroads, follow the path to the right into the broken bridge. At the end of the path in the broken bridge you'll find Creighton. End him and take his amulet, log back in and take the waypoint to the riverways. Follow the path that breaks out from the side of the road and enter the wetlands. Find Oak's camp toward the centre of this area and take him out. Then run to the top left of the area, touch the door covered in vines and grab the waypoint. Take this to the western forest. Whichever side of the road the waypoint's on, head in that direction until you reach the outer wall. Then head down in order to find Alira's camp. We're going to help her for the all-res boost, which is amazing early on. You can always roll this off later for the extra skill point. All that's left to do in Act 2 is head back to the wetlands, enter the ruins and keep going until you reach the Val Oversoul at the top of the pyramid. He takes an absolute age to come out of the ground. Once he's down, head into Act 3. Speaking of which, there are very few changes in this act, so I'm going to tell you exactly what they are, but I'm not going to hold your hand through the act like I have with the previous two. If you do need a guide to Act 3, I'll link one in the description. I do have a guide to each of the acts. After we fight Piety for the first time in the crematorium, we're going to go back to town and speak to Maramoa. As one of the quest rewards, she'll offer us Pride. We're going to pick that up. We're now going to drop Herald of Ash and Vitality, and our two auras will now just be Pride and Herald of Purity. About halfway through Act 3, we'll bump into Lady Diala, otherwise known as Not a Cockroach Lady. She's going to offer us an amulet as a quest reward. We're going to grab the Dexterity one because we really need accuracy early on. We're going to pick up our last skill gem of Act 3 after we kill Piety for the second time. We're going to buy this from Clarissa, and it's going to be Vulnerability. This is a curse that we're going to use on bosses and beefy enemies to help take them down. All that's left in Act 3 is to go and take down Dominus. This is a rather difficult fight. First, his ads are quite difficult, and then his second phase causes bleeding, which can kill you. Do prepare yourself to have to port out in the second phase of the fight if the bleed comes too much and you run out of flash charges. The footage of me fighting Dominus you're seeing now is currently done on a 3 link. If you have been lucky enough to drop a 4 red link, then you're going to pick up Main from Nessa in Act 1. Your 4 link will be Sunder, Added Fire, Melee Physical Damage, and Main. Once he's down, head to Act 4, do the side area, and then open the mines. Don't forget to free Destret in the mines level 2 in order to get a skill book from Tasuni. Then you're going to head on to the Crystal Veins, grab the waypoint, and now it's time to run the Labyrinth. The Labyrinth was fairly easy, even on a 3 link. If you need a guide, you know where it is, description. Don't forget to try and get a transfigured gem or at least some quality from the altar in the treasure room. Don't forget the treasure chests, and then we're going to go to the altar of Ascendancy and actually ascend. We have 3 options as the duelist. Our first is the Slayer. This is a Master of Leech. My top pick early on is Bane of Legends. It gives us a lot of extra damage, especially against bosses. The second Ascendancy is one of my favourites. The Gladiator, a master of block and bleed. If you're playing a bleed character, then I strongly suggest that you go for Blood in the Eyes first. It causes bleed explosions and they're amazing. They'll blow at your enemies and therefore increase your levelling speed. If you're not going bleed, then War of Attrition will give you a boost in early boss fights. The final Ascendancy is the Champion, and you can pretty much ignore the screen right now because it's being changed in quite a big way in 3.26. It's being made a lot stronger. My top picks, based on what I know right now, is Fortitude if you want early survivability. It's going to give you full-on Fortify and give it to your allies around you, which might be decent for the mercenaries that we're getting in the next league. For a more offensive approach, I would go Worthy Foe. This taunts the enemy but also gives you buffs while they're taunted, such as effectively giving you Resolute Technique, along with a nice 20% increase in damage. This has been how you level a duelist to the first Ascendancy really effectively. Where you go from here is entirely up to you. But if you are playing my Bleed Gladiator from last league, which still looks as strong as it did before, then at the end of Act 4, switch Main for Brutality. Our main 4 link is going to be Sunder, Chance to Bleed, Melee Physical Damage, and Brutality. Also grab these bleed nodes on the tree, continue with this skill setup until we get to Act 6, and then switch over to Lacerate. If you're not sure what to play, then just find a guide for a duelist in 3.26 or one of the Ascendancies I just mentioned, and then switch over to that from here. If you do need to make any adjustments to the passive tree, which you probably will, then you can do this with the passive points that you gain as you level through the acts, but also with Orbs of Regret once you get to the endgame. Good luck, Exile, and may the RNG be with you.